facts amaze you, some facts puzzle you, and some facts just make you raise an eyebrow, pause the video and say, wait, what? These are those kinds of facts. This is 35 unusual facts designed to puzzle and amaze you. 1. There's a species of jellyfish that can technically live forever. It's called Turritopsis dohrnii, and it doesn't age the way we do. When it's injured or threatened, it reverts its cells back to an earlier stage, like Benjamin Button, but real and slimy. Scientists call it biological immortality. Of course, they can still die from getting eaten or diseases, but aging? Not their problem. While we're out here applying anti-aging creams, this jellyfish is out here, time traveling through biology. 2. There's a word for sneezing in sunlight. It's called ACHU syndrome. Yes, it's real. And yes, that's an acronym. It stands for autosomal dominant compelling helio-ophthalmic outburst. Around 1 in 3 people sneeze when suddenly exposed to bright light. It's an inherited reflex, not an allergy. Which means, yes, you can blame your parents if you sneeze every time you step out of a dark movie theater. Science. Sometimes accurate, sometimes just adorable. 3. Pelicans have 3 stomachs. That giant beak isn't just for dramatic effect. It's part of a complicated digestive system. First comes the proventriculus, which breaks down food with acid. Then the gizzard, where tougher stuff like bones get crushed. Finally, the third chamber filters out the leftovers. It's basically a bird version of a recycling center. Messy, weird, but highly efficient. Just don't ask them to explain it mid-meal. 4. Otters carry their favorite rock in their armpit. Yes, that's where the treasure goes. They use the rock to smash open shellfish like a personal can opener. And when they're not using it, they store it in a loose fold of skin under their arm. Some otters use the same rock for years. In a world full of chaos, one otter and its favorite rock feels oddly wholesome. Nature's cutest tool belt. 5. Butterflies don't just transform. They dissolve into goo first. You've seen the beautiful result, but inside the chrysalis? The caterpillar literally melts into a biological soup. Its body breaks down entirely before reassembling into a butterfly. The process relies on special cells called imaginal discs, which hold the blueprints for wings, eyes, and everything else. It's less magical transformation and more body horror with a happy ending. Beauty is pain, and apparently liquefaction. 6. Chickens have the genes for teeth. They just don't use them. Buried deep in their DNA is the coding to grow actual teeth, just like their dinosaur ancestors. But somewhere along the evolutionary timeline, nature hit the snooze button. Scientists have even triggered those dormant genes in labs. Which means, yes, Jurassic Park chickens are technically a possibility. Imagine being pecked by a chicken, with molars. Still not scarier than a goose, though. 7. Woodpeckers wrap their tongues around their brains. No, not metaphorically. Their tongues are long, like really long, and when retracted, they curl around the back of the skull. That tongue acts like a built-in helmet, cushioning the brain from all that headbanging. Every time they slam their beaks into a tree, it's like nature yelling, "Safety first." Meanwhile, your head hurts from wearing sunglasses too long. Evolution plays favorites. 8. Ants helped write the Oxford English Dictionary. Not literally. But the dictionary team in the 1800s spent over 5 years just covering the letter A. And they didn't even finish it. They stopped at ant. The whole dictionary took more than 70 years to complete. So next time you feel bad about being slow to finish a project, just remember, the most famous dictionary in the world got stuck on ants. 9. Your eyes have their own immune system. They're considered immune privileged, which means they don't respond to threats the same way as the rest of your body. This prevents inflammation that could damage vision. Instead of going nuclear on germs, your eyes play it cool, releasing chemicals that calm the immune system down. But this also makes them a target for stealthy infections. So, yes, your eyes are delicate diplomats in a world full of bodyguards. And they don't always win. Chapter 10. Killer whales have attacked moose. No, this isn't a weird nature documentary crossover. Moose are surprisingly strong swimmers and sometimes paddle between islands to find food. Unfortunately, orcas patrol those same waters, so occasionally the world's largest deer meets the world's most tactical predator. Imagine being a moose minding your own leafy business and suddenly, Jaws. Nature doesn't follow your food chain expectations. 11. Your spine is basically a banana. Not in color, in consistency. When doctors explain spinal injuries, they sometimes compare the squishy, delicate spinal cord to the inside of a ripe banana. Soft, vulnerable, easily bruised. Unlike the hard outer vertebrae, which act like the peel. So, slipping on a banana peel isn't just cartoon slapstick, it's spinal symbolism. 12. There's a fungus that eats radiation. Cladosporium sphaerospermum was found growing inside Chernobyl. Not just thriving. It uses melanin, the same pigment that colors your skin, to absorb radiation and convert it into chemical energy. Basically, this fungus is doing photosynthesis, but with deadly gamma rays. It doesn't just resist radiation, it feeds on it. And somehow, that's more terrifying than nuclear fallout itself. 13. Some pelicans have toes that all point forward. It's rare in the bird world, where most species have one toe facing backward for balance. But pelicans said, nah, I'm good. All their toes point forward, making them great swimmers but incredibly clumsy on land. They look majestic in flight and in water, but waddling across a dock? Comedy gold. Evolution giveth and taketh. 14. Some schools legally keep uranium. New Zealand's Atomic Energy Act of 1945 allows educational institutions to handle small amounts of radioactive material. Uranium, thorium. Right there in the science lab. Not to blow anything up, just for research. As long as it's under a specific weight and kept safely, it's totally legal. So, if your chemistry class ever felt dangerously boring, it may have actually been dangerous. 15. Great white shark mating has never been filmed. Not once, not clearly. We've seen attacks, births, and migrations, but mating? Still a mystery. Researchers think it happens deep in the ocean, far from where humans can easily watch. They've only guessed what it might look like based on scars and behavior, which makes shark mating the Bigfoot of marine biology. Both are elusive, and probably kind of awkward. 16. The loneliest whale in the world sings at the wrong frequency. Most whales sing between 10 and 40 hertz, but one blue whale sings at 52 hertz, and no other whale responds. Scientists believe it's never communicated with another of its kind. They call it the 52 hertz whale. It's been heard for decades, traveling alone through the Pacific, a real-life metaphor for misunderstood communication. 17. Dolphins give birth upside down, tail first. If they were born head first like humans, the baby could drown before it takes its first breath. So, evolution flipped the script. The calf's tail emerges first, followed by the body, then the head, just in time to break the surface and take its first breath. Nature's midwifery is weird, but effective. Also, dolphin labor? Surprisingly fast. Usually under 2 hours. Meanwhile, humans, well, 18. Butter doesn't expire the way you think it does. Stored properly, salted butter can last months without refrigeration. Salt is a preservative, and butter is mostly fat, with very little moisture. That means bacteria struggle to grow in it. Pioneers used to store butter in cool cellars or crocks, and it stayed good. Some cheeses wish they had that kind of shelf life. In fact, in blind taste tests, people often prefer aged butter. Gross? Maybe. Delicious? Often. 19. There's a fungus that replaces ant brains. Ophiocordyceps unilateralis infects ants and takes over their nervous system. It forces them to climb to a perfect height on a plant, bite down, and die. Then the fungus grows out of their head like a creepy little horn. It releases spores to infect more ants. It's basically The Last of Us, but real. And it happens in rainforests all over the world. Moral of the story: don't trust mushrooms. 20. Cows have best friends. Studies show that cows form close social bonds. When separated from their bestie, their heart rates spike and they show signs of distress. Reunite them, and they calm down almost instantly. They groom each other, sleep close, and stick together in herds. Turns out cows are emotional, loyal, and social, which kind of makes those cheeseburgers hit differently now. Sorry, Bessie. 21. There's a fish that can climb trees. The climbing perch uses its fins and gill plates to haul itself out of water and up wet roots or low trunks. It can even survive without water for days as long as it stays moist. And yes, it's spreading. Scientists are monitoring it closely because if it invades new ecosystems, it could cause serious trouble. Imagine going on a hike and finding a fish in a tree. That's not nature being cute. That's nature preparing a sequel. 22. Koalas have fingerprints, almost identical to humans. So similar, in fact, that their prints have been confused with human ones at crime scenes. They've got the loops, whorls, and arches, just tiny. And despite being tree-hugging marsupials, evolution gave them the same tool for grip. Friction ridges. CSI. Koala edition? It's already happened. We're just waiting for the courtroom drama. 23. Your stomach gets a brand new lining every 3 to 4 days. That's because your stomach acid is powerful enough to dissolve metal. To keep from digesting itself, the body constantly sheds and regenerates that lining. It's like nature's self-cleaning oven. Except, if the process goes wrong, ulcers happen. So, yes, your body is always one step away from a sci-fi acid meltdown. 34. Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. Dolphins manage around 10 minutes. Sloths? Up to 40. How? They slow their heart rate and basically shut down everything unnecessary. They only poop once a week, too. And when they do, it's a huge risk. Most sloth deaths happen on bathroom breaks, so next time you think your job is dangerous, remember the sloth's schedule. 35. There's a lake that explodes. Lake Nyos in Cameroon is one of 3 known exploding lakes. Gas builds up deep in the water, and when it releases, it creates a deadly cloud of carbon dioxide that can suffocate everything nearby. In 1986, 1,700 people died without warning. The gas was odorless, invisible, and traveled downhill like a fog. It's now monitored constantly, with pipes installed to vent the lake. Because Mother Nature? Sometimes she's metal. 26. Your bones are stronger than concrete. Ounce for ounce, bone can withstand more pressure than some kinds of concrete or steel. It's flexible, lightweight, and constantly rebuilding itself. You get an entirely new skeleton every 10 years, so technically, your body is always under renovation. Also, your femur can support 30 times your body weight. And yet, we still stub our toes like chumps. 27. The Earth hums. Even in total silence, the planet produces a low-frequency vibration called the Earth hum. It's not caused by earthquakes or human activity. Scientists think it comes from ocean waves and atmospheric pressure. It's incredibly faint, but measurable. So, yes, the Earth has background music, and it's not lo-fi chill beats to study to. 28. You can smell rain. That fresh, earthy scent is called petrichor. It comes from plant oils and a compound called geosmin, released when raindrops hit dry soil. Humans are incredibly sensitive to it, even in tiny amounts. It's part nostalgia, part science. So, the next time you walk outside and say, "I smell rain," you're not poetic, you're a well-tuned moisture detector. 29. There's a type of coral that can eat jellyfish. It's called mushroom coral, and it's not a plant. It's a free-living animal that scoots along the ocean floor. And when jellyfish drift too close, it traps and digests them. The coral slowly opens and engulfs prey like a flower closing around a fly. So, if you thought coral was just underwater decoration, surprise, it snacks. 30. The smell of old books is actually plant decay. Lignin, found in paper, is chemically related to vanilla. As books age, lignin breaks down and releases a sweet, musty aroma. That old book smell? It's basically paper compost. So, next time you walk into a library and take a deep breath, you're inhaling centuries of slow, graceful rot. And somehow, that's lovely. 31. Your brain shrinks when you're dehydrated. Even mild dehydration can shrink brain tissue and impair focus, memory, and mood. It's why you get brain fog or feel tired when you haven't had enough water. Your body is 60% water, and your brain is even more. So if you're cranky, tired, or confused, maybe drink a glass of water before assuming life is falling apart. 32. Spiders use hydraulic pressure to move their legs. They don't have extensor muscles in their limbs. Instead, they pump fluid, called hemolymph, to extend their legs. That's why dead spiders curl up. No pressure equals no stretch. They're like tiny, 8-legged inflatable puppets. 33. You can turn ashes into coral reefs. A company called Eternal Reefs lets people mix cremated remains with concrete. The resulting reef ball is placed on the ocean floor to support marine life. Over 2,500 have already been created. So yes, it's poetic, eco-friendly, and honestly, kind of beautiful. Ashes to reef, reef to fish, to sushi. 34. Copper door handles disinfect themselves. Copper and its alloys, like brass, kill bacteria on contact. It's called the oligodynamic effect. Even without cleaning, copper surfaces destroy microorganisms in hours. Hospitals have started using copper handles to reduce infections. So your grandma's antique doorknob? It's secretly fighting germs like a superhero. 35. There's a planet made of solid diamond. 55 Cancri E is twice the size of Earth and orbits its star every 18 hours. Its core is carbon, and the pressure is so intense that scientists believe it's crystallized into diamond. Basically, an entire planet blinged out. It's 40 light years away, so don't plan a heist just yet. But if you ever feel poor, then just remember there's a diamond the size of a planet out there, and you don't even have to insure it. So, how many of those facts totally messed with your brain? Because I'll be honest, if your eyebrows got a workout from all the puzzling, weird, and strangely wonderful stuff in this video, mission accomplished. Now it's your turn. Which fact was your favorite? Which one creeped you out the most? And which one are you Googling right now to see if it's actually real? Drop it in the comments. I'm reading everyone. And hey, if you love this kind of bizarre knowledge rabbit hole, hit that subscribe button because we're just getting started.